clubs threatened by UEFA. UEFA to step up financial fair play push. From January 25th, 2012, UEFA have threatened to impose player bans and points deductions for the continent's worst offending European clubs against financial fair play from the 2014-2015 season. There is more. Figures released by European football's governing body reveal that clubs lost more than 1.6 billion euros, 1.33 billion pounds in 2010, a 36% increase and the worst statistics on record. I don't know if I can stress that enough. Worst statistics on record. But let's carry on. A survey of 665 clubs found that 56% posted losses in the 2010 financial year, with 78 spending more than 100% of their income on wages. UEFA General Secretary Gianni Infantino revealed that only 4 leagues of the top 30 clubs in Europe were currently living within their means. He said, "This is the last wake-up call for everyone. This trend has to change very quickly to safeguard European football. We must end this negative spiral and gamble for success. These losses cannot continue." Under UEFA rules, clubs are allowed to make a maximum loss of 45 million euros, or in other words, 37.5 billion over a 2-year rolling period, followed by 30 million euros, 25 million pounds for 3 years, moving ultimately towards breaking even. But UEFA revealed that 13 clubs monitored in the 2010 financial year would have failed the break-even test if the rules were applied now. Warning that it would not put up with permanent losses, UEFA pointed out that 31 clubs, including 4 this season, have already been refused entry into its 2 main club competitions since financial licensing was introduced in 2004. Now, I've just seen in Skype that Eamon loves this rule. I want to hear your view. I want you to articulate your view verbally as well. But what I will say is this: myself and the G-Man were actually chatting about this earlier. And we also have a Pitch Talk push point about it on youtube.com/Pitch Talk. Check out the Pitch Talk push point. UEFA financial fair play. Is it over before it's begun? Because it's interesting what UEFA are saying, because UEFA have already come out and said before. They said previously, and we mentioned it on the Pitch Talk push point, that they're not looking to throw teams out of their tournaments for not breaking even. So if they're not looking to throw teams out, which I actually personally said, do you know what? UEFA was stupid for coming out and saying that. Because if there's no proper sanctions to something, then how are clubs ever going to fall in line? What incentive is there for a club to fall in line if they think, you know what, they're not really serious about it. They're not serious about imposing sanctions, so why should I adhere to their rules? They're not going to throw me out of the Champions League, so why do I need to break even? It's clear that clubs already don't respect the powers that be. Hell, I don't even respect the powers that be, because UEFA and FIFA, to me, are a bunch of corrupt morons. And our FA here in England are not that much better. Richard Scudamore, this prat, buddy. Oh yeah, we're gonna move in heaven and earth. Oh, we don't want clubs. We don't want clubs going under. So is that why you didn't do anything to help Darlington, but you will move heaven and earth to shift rules to keep clubs like Liverpool, Man United? Yeah, I said it, Liverpool, and I love that club. But at the end of the day, us and Portsmouth should have been made an example of. Man United and their debts should have been made an example of. Manchester City shouldn't have even been allowed to have been taken over by them bloody sheiks, considering you want to bring in financial fair play. So at the end of the day, UEFA saying now, oh yeah, we're gonna start throwing. We're gonna start denying teams entry to our tournaments. Yeah, good luck with that, because you already came out and said it wouldn't be possible. And also, they want to impose player embargoes. They said a few weeks ago, and again, we said on a Pitch Talk push point. They said a few weeks ago, oh, because of legal reasons, we can't really enforce transfer embargoes. So if you can't enforce things and you're only finding out 2 years or a year and a half after you've bloody said, oh yeah, we want to enforce these rules to clean up football, Mate, it's one of them ones. You obviously didn't do your homework. And for a massive corporation, organisation, business, joint venture, whatever the hell you want to call UEFA, not to have done their groundwork, not to have done their research, not to have consulted lawyers first, it's moronic. And this is why the powers that be in football are ruining the game. Because they're coming out and saying one thing one week, yeah, we want to clean up the game. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, a year later, legally we can't do anything. Oh, we're not looking to throw teams out of the tournament. It's dumb. It is really dumb. But guys, what do you think of this? Facebook.com/Pitch Talk, Twitter.com/Pitch Talk. Also Pitch Talk 1. Add us on Skype as well. Guys, have at it. What do you reckon?
I'm just confused as to how it's going to work, to be perfectly frank and honest. I mean, I'm going to let you have your say, but I'm confused as to how it's going to work. I really am, because given everything else that they've already said about, you know, they're not going to punish teams and there's no real incentive for teams not to overspend anyway, what exactly is it that you're planning to do now?
I think it's just a case of them making money off the bigger teams, like for revenue and like TV broadcasting and that, and then not letting the smaller teams in. I think they don't see it as like as an ethical stance. They just see it as Man City are going to make us a lot of money if they're in the Champions League. Man United are going to make us a lot of money. This team from Belgium that we've never heard of before, they're not going to bring in that much. Let's just not let them enter. And it shouldn't be allowed, because is this fair play, or is it just them thinking of, you know, like Man City? I think they were like £500 million that they spent. They made a loss. How is that, especially in this, like, look at us, the whole of Europe is in recession and they're still making £500 million losses. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's like what was it? Like 100. I think it's like 120 million pound a year losses, and it's like, and it's like, mate, that is astronomical. And as I said earlier, mate, football is a very, very strange anomaly. I mean, I said, how clubs like, for instance, a Man United could get into 800 million worth of debt and their owners are in 1.1 billion worth of debt. How Liverpool can get into 500 million worth of 400 million worth of debt. How other clubs can get into stupid amounts of debt and still be allowed to trade, and not only trade but buy players for 30, 40, 50 million apiece. Mate,
wages.
Yeah, it beggars belief. And then you got Darlington a couple of weeks back struggling for a buyer in the lower leagues. That's terrible. In the footballing pyramid, football's gonna learn. In the footballing pyramid, there isn't a a top without a bottom. If the bottom crumbles, the bottom's gonna end up falling out of the top as well. But oh god, Big T, I see you've been pretty vocal on Skype. Do you want to articulate those views to the fans as well?
Yeah, well, basically, I just think that the league, basically, if owners are going to keep buying football clubs, then at the end of the day, the system's going to go downhill, because you've got owners like the Venkers who have no idea whatsoever about football, who have bought Blackburn, and they're high possibility that they're going to go down into the Championship. Now, I think personally that there's going to be loads of owners from all around the world who are going to buy loads of clubs in the Premier League, and basically if you're just going to send them all down to the Championship, they really are, because they've got no idea about football and they're ploughing money into clubs they've got no idea what to spend in, and they're thinking they're going to make a profit, which I think is just stupid, because at the end of the day you want owners who know what they're doing, who know about football.